The Russians set a record for the volume of gold purchases in 2022. According to Russian banks, total sales of gold amounted to 67 tons. In 2021, the Ministry of Finance of Russia estimated this indicator at 6 tons. Analysts say that Russian investors have no alternatives for investments. The stock market is not attractive, as well as the purchase of real estate against the background of the mass relocation of Russians, and investments in foreign assets and currencies are associated with risks due to Western sanctions.
However, taking into account the price of gold, which averaged 3,983 rubles per gram in 2022, the 5 banks were able to sell it for about 200 billion rubles. Market participants believe that the increased demand for gold among the population will continue in 2023. From the Insider publication.
The European Union imposed restrictions on the import of Russian gold in 2022. After that, offshore companies took up sales of the precious metal. They promote gold bars on the sites of the United Arab Emirates, Turkey and Hong Kong. This was reported by Bloomberg with reference to data from Import Genius, which analyzes customs statistics. At the same time, alternative sales markets could not replace Russia's classic Western ones. The volumes sold are too low, the agency writes.
The gap left has been filled by companies like V-Power Finance Security Limited Hong Kong, which says it moves cash and gold for some of China's biggest banks. It handled more than $300 million of Russian gold shipments through Hong Kong in March through August 2022, Import Genius data show, from the publication of the Bloomberg News Agency.
In the next package of sanctions, the US and the EU intend to close loopholes and fight against Moscow's circumvention of sanctions. The proposal includes a ban on transit of many goods through Russia.
Товары заказывались не в Россию.
Goods were ordered not to Russia, but let's say Kazakhstan and any other country that is located next to Russia and whose transportation takes place on the territory of Russia. That is, according to the documents, these goods did not go to Russia. Somewhere on the territory of Russia they remained on the territory itself, and the firms that ordered these goods are connected with Russia and report that these goods have been received.
According to Eurostat, exports from Europe to Russia after the imposition of sanctions between March and November 2022 fell by 48% compared to 2021. At the same time, the export of European goods to countries neighboring Russia, such as Belarus, Armenia, Kazakhstan, Georgia, Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan, in 2022 grew by the same 48%, and this is a total turnover of more than 20 billion euros. In March, the head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, and the US President Joe Biden during a meeting announced their intention to strengthen export controls against Russia.
We are taking new steps together to target additional third-country actors across the globe to disrupt support for Russia's war from any corner of the world where it is identified, from a statement on the White House website.
Bloomberg, citing anonymous sources, reports that the US and Japan are preparing their own packages of measures, while Canada wants to impose sanctions on those Russians who were involved in the kidnapping of Ukrainian children, as well as against the Russian defense industry. The final document will be made public after the G7 leaders meet in Japan later this month. Reported by Roman Smoler, Christina Dombrovska, UATV News.